Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Arcanine's on my shirt. Hello, Arcanine. That's not a Pokemon tease or anything. Veve's doing enough teasing of their own with David and Dan and all of them, whether they're posting about something or talking about something. We'll get to that in a minute, but right now we'll just start over with the OMI token. OMI is down a little bit on the day, 1.2% to 0007294, pretty much 00073. We have less than 500,000 volume at 494,000. Big whales are hoping it stays down here for an extra 2 weeks, give or take. It is April 7th right now, so happy WrestleMania Day. For everyone, comment down below your favorite wrestler. Would love to hear it. Mine, of course, the Rip, a legend, Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat, love him. Anyway, yeah, they're hoping that it stays down here for about another 10 to 14 days, give or take, depending on how much money comes in and all that. There'll be a lot of big buy orders soon. I know most of y'all will ignore that for right now, but you will see before the end of the month a ton of buy orders, most of which going into the same wallets. Compared to the rest of the markets, actually aren't doing too bad. Bit of a recovery day today. Bitcoin's at 69,000. Everyone comment nice down below for the 69, up 2.5%. Ethereum up 1.4%. BNB down 0.5%, Solana up 2%, XRP up 0.5%, Lido Stake up 1.3%, Dogecoin up 9%, shout out to Dogecoin being the leader of the top 10, and Cardano up 1.4%. So the only one really down today is BNB, and it's down like less than 0.5%, so it's relatively flat. I have seen a bunch of people go and ask about, oh, why can't we have some type of points that we get for farming, like holding a bunch of collectibles or going and holding a bunch of OMI. I mean, we already get a bunch of rewards for OMI. We get the daily MCP points, we're going to get the bronze tickets, and likely other things as well. Those airdrops, that snapshot should have been taken already. We are waiting for the article from Veve and Akomi. So like, hey, this snapshot was taken of all the OMI holders. Here's what you're going to get. I'm hoping we get that this week. But just after doing a bunch of research, I haven't found a single crypto platform that hasn't been completely wrecked by wash trading to artificially increase trading prices and floor numbers and etc. All that. Just taking a look at a couple of things, Frogana, D's Nuts, Dgen Poet, and Pyth Drip are all down 45 plus, even 90% from the last month's high. And I know people want interoperability. Interoperability will come at some point, but just be advised, even if you could go and put stuff on, let's say, Immutable X, the ecosystem isn't really that big. Despite having all of the big gaming partnerships, like all of anyone that's into blockchain gaming, most of them are partnered with Immutable X. So it's great, the token's great, but just the volume on there is like 600,000 a day, most of which is actually Gods Unchained. Gods Unchained actually has like 85% of that volume. You have other stuff like Cross the Ages was 20K a day, Illuvium has 13K a day, Habbo Fernie has 4.4 a day, Illuvitars has 3,500 a day. It's really not a ton of them. Most of what that is outperformed by what we have over on Veve. And I know a ton of people are kind of not really understanding why they would even want crypto right now, as in why would they want to sell their stuff for OMI as opposed to gems. And I've gone over a bunch of that before. I won't bore you with that again to sound like a broken record, but just to kind of reiterate, most people don't get that you'll immediately save the 10% cash out fee by using OMI. Again, if you go in and say, hey, I'm going to sell this for gems, and you want to cash out, you have to go and pay 10% for if you have 1,000 gems, you have to pay 100 in order to cash out, leaving you with 900, which is still a decent amount. But let's say if you have a Miles Morales secret rare that you sold for 11.5, you have 10 grand. Now suddenly you have to pay $1,000 for that, as opposed to if you sell that in OMI, there's no fee. But again, no point in explaining that though. And I know people are like, okay, well, OMI, right now if I can't buy anything with it, and again, OMI to NFT is coming, but if you go and say like, hey, Derek Jeter, you own these shares of the Florida Marlins, you can't spend that on anything. He's not going to be like, oh yeah, they're completely worthless. He's going to go and say, well, it's worth something. Same thing with OMI. And again, we're not 100% sure how it will work because the licenses are still going to need to get paid. So they'll come out with an article on that. They might have a couple of articles when OMI to NFT comes out. Like Disney most likely won't want to be paid in OMI, at least not right away, until you see some really big gains. Then they'll want to get it on their balance sheet, and maybe some fees could be paid in OMI. That would be really cool. Veve post yesterday sold out. To celebrate the Spider-Man symbiote suit sellout, they're running a giveaway for a randomly selected digital collectible. All you have to do is like and repost the post that they put out. Again, it was yesterday, about 24 hours ago from this video. Reply to the post with an AR photo of your favorite Veve digital collectible. It didn't have to be the Spider-Man, because there's only like 2,200 of those, 2,400. Any Veve collectible has qualified. You do have to enter by 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, April 9th. We'll put up best will put the best up to a community vote. Shout out to Veve and Pixar and Disney for going. They didn't quite sell out the Cars drop today, but they did really, really well, between $75,000 and $80,000. It's like that episode 2, Attack of the Clones, where what's his name from Camino says, 200,000 units already, with 1 million more well on the way. Well, $80,000 was sold already, with thousands of more well on the way before they sell out. Comment down below if you get that reference. The one issue I happened to see with the drop today was that, well, you needed Cruise and Jackson Storm, those cars right there, in order to craft the Piston Cup. He did what in his cup? Comment down below if you get that reference. Which, by the way, I got one. I didn't go and craft it. I just bought one on the market. It was like 13 gems. It's a secret rare. Why not? But Cruise and Jackson Storm, they didn't say you had to go and buy them from the store. Like, you could buy them from the market, but they only work once. So if you go and you have a Cruise and Jackson Storm from the store, and you use them to go and craft the Piston Cup, and then you sold it in the secondary market, if you buy those from the secondary market, they're not going to work for the Piston Cup. I wish there was a way they would differentiate. These were used for crafting, this wasn't. Because some people that got the Cruise and the Jackson Storm, but they were really hoping for flow, they didn't use anything to craft, and they go and they put it in the secondary market. People that go and buy that were able to craft the Piston Cup. So again, I wish there would be a button or a little badge that says this was used for crafting or this wasn't. That might affect the price of them. But again, hopefully that's something Veve can be more clear on next time. But when they did post about it yesterday, Veve says, imagine yourself stepping into the pulse-pounding universe of Disney and pulse-pounding. Everyone comment dirty down below. Cars with these 5 unique collectibles on Veve. So when they say imagine stepping into the pulse-pounding universe and using them to drive, I feel like they might be going and saying, hey, there are going to be cars in the Veveverse, and there might be a little bit of a racetrack. But again, that's just my opinion. It just might be implying something. Be advised, new people come into the project every single day, so really cool mint numbers like 1337 can get sniped. You got that yesterday over on the Spider-Man symbiote drop. Somebody sold it for $95. And speaking of cars, Veve goes and posts, these Lamborghini digital collectibles are about to take the Veve roads by storm. Again, just another reference to roads and driving. So I'm thinking we are going to get racetracks in the Veveverse. That is something that should be like one of the easiest to go and build, because the cars don't really change. It's not like Transformers. It's just the tires that have to go on and on. But then, can you guess what model will be dropping on 14 April, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? Comment down below if you know, because I have no idea. Noldor Live had gone on and posted the top 500 Veve hodlers, and if you go and you take a look at the most sold, this is over the past 2 weeks, so it's had 14 days for these to come out. Skytonics had sold 75 collectibles, Frank Kuzi sold 164, WC3NTE sold 218, which sounds like a lot, but again, these were writ small by the top 3 purchasers. Kirby 1988 purchased 709 collectibles, Fiction House purchased 1,028, and Bounder Yo purchased 1,176. But fret not, you have Bezojman, which purchased another 337 collectibles, bringing him up to 47,908 collectibles. Absolutely bananas. I would say before the end of the year, he'll get up to 50,000 collectibles if he doesn't slow down. As I was going to grab a second Lucky Rosso Dragon, which they cost around $500 each, I had to sell a couple of things, so I did drop out of the top 400. I'm at number 405, so I'm still in the top 500. I'll likely be there for the rest of my life. But in the top 500 now, you have to have 1,442 to be in the top 500. That does get harder and harder every single week. We do have a couple comics coming out this week: Ultimate X-Men number 2, Amazing Spider-Man number 47, etc., etc. But I think some of the big ones that I think we'll see is Carnage number 6. And again, granted, a lot of these tend to be D-tier comics. Weapon X-Men number 2, X-Men 97 number 2. That one did super well last week, so you're probably going to see that again. Comment down below which one you're most excited for. Shout out to OMI and Me 22 for reaching level 75. And he has now 1,200 collectibles between collectibles and comics total, 175 sets. Veve posted over on their LinkedIn yesterday, in 2 months' time, David Yu will represent New Zealand at the upcoming EY World Entrepreneur of the Year event in June of 2024 and compete with the top entrepreneurs worldwide. Look at that hairline. I mean, it was just this time last year that he was taking home that trophy, and now he's going again to compete. Shout out to, look at this level 100 big bad Buckeye thing over here. He's got 4,769,887 points, getting almost 7,500 points each day, over 3,000 collectibles, 300 sets, and 300 comics. Shout out to him. Shout out to Low Mint Mick that now has 30 Black Panthers, the secret rares, and now has 600 Stormtroopers. I thought for sure he was going to dump those Black Panthers, but he hasn't. And the current floor on that is 950. And then once somebody goes and buys that, then the floor jumps up to $1,600. So if anyone wants to get that, honestly, if somebody buys that and then the floor is 1,600, I might go and floor mine for about 1,300 or 1,400, seeing if anyone goes to buy it, because I paid $289 for it. That's a really nice flip if I could do that. But I did tell him that if it was still down around that price of like 800 when OMI to NFT came out, I would actually buy another one, but it doesn't look like it's going down there. All right, and now for the teases. So if anyone remembers last week when David and Dan were over on Elite Comics Club, I believe, Dan had said David had a collecting level of over 9,000, just a Dragon Ball Z reference. And then today, they go and post a really big teaser for not just X-Men, but the slashes are just, that looks so cool. Those slashes are just reminiscent of Wolverine every time he goes and slashes things. His big quote is, "I'm the best at what I do, and what I do isn't very nice." So they said that he wouldn't be a Marvel Mighty, at least not at first. His first appearance would be a 3D premium digital collectible statue. Can't wait for that. Probably within the next 2 weeks we get him. And then also this month we will be getting another X-Men, but it'll be X-Men villain, so Wolverine probably won't be in that one. We'll see him again at another point. But that's it for today. Everyone please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Happy WrestleMania Day. I love you all. Bye guys. Meow. Meow, meow, meow.